thing. The United States is known to have fiercely objected to these pipelines built from Russia to Europe, extending back to the 1980s. It's a circumstantial case that it was the United States, but frankly, it is a compelling one. I personally would be very surprised if the United States had not been involved in some way.
Dr. Matthew Alford, lecturer in politics, languages and international studies at the University of Bath. By all means say if you demur from the three of our conclusions, but if you don't demur, deal please with the issue I raise, which is what does it say about Europe that would allow itself to be attacked by its chief ally and yet continue to cover it up and follow their orders nonetheless?
I think it says that Europe is accepting its role as a subordinate power in the same way that Britain has long accepted its role since the mid-1950s as a subordinate power within the world international system, playing second fiddle or third fiddle or fourth fiddle to the interests of the United States. I think that the United States, we must remember that every year the United States produces these strategic documents for how it wants to run the world. If you ever take a look at any of those, as I know that you have, they are all about full spectrum dominance, about totally dominating every bloc within the world, which includes the European Union. This goes back to the early 90s with Paul Wolfowitz, the arch neoconservative, and his no rivals plan. But it goes back even into the Cold War as well. And the United States is consistent about this, and Europe just has to go along with it. It's kind of...
What about European public opinion? One can understand why the satrapies in the chancelleries of Europe, presidential palaces of Europe, who are subordinates. But how do their people feel? The German people are a great people, a huge people. Their country is the powerhouse of Europe. Why have they gone so quietly into this good night?
Well, I'm not sure that the people of Europe are going to be hoodwinked for that long, because public opinion can change when material conditions change, as they will, of course, over the winter. But the power of propaganda, as in overt, deliberate construction of lies, does take quite some time for people to see through that. And hopefully that's what the kind of thing that we're doing on this programme and other critical scholars and commentators are attempting to do. But it does take a while for that before we have a good idea about what's really happened on the public level.
I'm going to come back to that point, because even I, wizened and experienced as I am, I'm a bit surprised at how effective their propaganda is. Let's hear